Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and here I have two FREETIGER knives. Now, this is the first time I am checking out FREETIGER. This is the first one. We have the second one coming up here in 1 second. By the way, I will link everything down in the description for you guys, and you guys can check out FREETIGER's site and see, other models that they do have, because they do have quite a few models. So, this is the FT41. Now, they said that they're the ones, they do their own knives, but I'm not sure if that's true or not, or who their OEM is. They said that they do their own stuff, so I'm going to, take their word for it. So, FREETIGER, the FT41, we have G10 scales, D2 steel, drop point blade, steel liner lock, and this is a very affordable knife, and it feels like an affordable knife, but it does feel like a good quality budget knife, so I got to give it that. It's not too rough around the edges or anything, it feels like it's pretty well done. Ergonomics are really comfortable in the hand. Actually very comfortable in the hand. Now, I do feel like I'm separated from the edge quite a bit, but you can always choke up right over the flipper tab, and you do have a nice minimal flipper tab. It's a little pokey, but it's also not a super strong detent, so you have a lot of leverage, just the positioning of where the flipper tab is. So even though it's a light detent, it still flies out there with authority. And then you have the thumb stud action as well. Thumb studs are pretty good. They got good traction on them. They poke out far enough. Yeah, thumb studs are good. Great thumb studs. So yeah, all in all, good access to the lock bar. Very smooth on the drop. Couple complaints. One, the sharpening tool and plunge grind is horrible. But this is such an affordable knife. I'm not going to hold it against them that bad. But yeah, it could be better. The plunge grind could be moved and it could be tapered and stuff. You do have plenty of room where you can always cut in your own choil or your own whole finger choil if you wanted to. You have plenty of room. So it's not that big of a complaint. T6 hardware. I never like T6 hardware, even on budget knives. But, when it gets this affordable, it starts being like, okay, whatever. But all in all, it's a solid little knife. Like I said, the detent is a little bit on the lighter side, but you have a lot of leverage in the flipper tab, so, you're going to reliably be able to flip it. The geometry is, it's not super thin, it's not super thick, it's just right there in that medium area. So, but the clip, it's not the best looking clip. However, it's very comfortable in the hand. So I kind of got to give it credit. It works. So I'm not too mad at the clip. Now, the next one is the FT2103. Lots of letters. So this one is an axis style lock or a crossbar lock. Better geometry on this one. Quite a bit better, it seems like. Yeah, look at that. Look at that geometry difference. This one has a much thinner blade. It's very comfortable in the hand again, but this one does have a deep carry clip, not reversible. You can tell it's riding on bearings. Very smooth. I have a little bit of play, but, I could probably adjust that with the pivot. It looks like you can adjust both sides. Nice big pivot. It looks like a T10. Then we have T6 on the body screws. I did not check the pivot. I'm just guessing. But a drop point blade again, D2 steel. Coated blade, which, for D2, that could be a good thing because, it can corrode pretty easily. Ergonomics are really good. The action is nice. Thumb studs are easy to get to. They got enough texture on them. They snap out there pretty good. They're not bad. For a budget knife, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. So a couple negatives. One, again, the plunge grind sharpening tool. Not a big fan of it. Next thing, I'm not a fan at any price range. Let's just be clear about this. I don't care if it's a $10 knife. I'm not a fan of this fake carbon fiber because it's like a sticker of carbon fiber over the top of G10. So it's G10 basically with a super thin layer of carbon fiber over the surface. I prefer either one, just go G10, or two, go with solid carbon fiber. And the reason why is because so many companies, so many budget companies used this stuff that it just looks cheap to me. And this is a personal thing. If you like it, cool. But for me, it just looks cheap to me, and when I see it, I see budget. That's all I see. If it was solid carbon fiber, it would show, and if it was just plain G10, it would be just fine. So like, it's not like it's I personally would just prefer G10 or real carbon fiber. Anyway, so we have a couple standoffs in the back, but the other negative would be T6s again, and then also there's no left-hand carry. So it's an ambidextrous knife, and that's the thing with crossbar locks. They're ambidextrous, but this one is not because it's not reversible. This one's also not reversible. But all in all, super solid little budget knives. And yeah, it's the first time I'm getting to check them out, and first impressions is pretty good. Not too bad. We'll see how they go in the future, and how they hold up over time. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.